Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Email me for pricing at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we are discussing a bright and beautiful 2019 500-piece limited edition in a combination of resin, sapphire, titanium, and blue ceramic. This is the Hublot Big Bang Unico Blue Magic. What sets this and the previous year's Red Magic apart from most ceramic watches is that Hublot shot for bright, bold, vibrant ceramic colors, whereas most other brands settled for muted ceramic. These are standouts with color and life and a wonderful, bright, reflective, glossy, gleaming quality to them. They're enticing, almost like candy for the eye. The watch measures 45 millimeters in diameter, 15.9 millimeters thick, and from lug tip to lug tip, it's fairly broad at 57.5 millimeters, but that doesn't weigh against its fit, and you'll see why that is in a moment. Being made of, again, titanium, composite, ceramic, and sapphire, the watch is fairly light for its size. On my wrist, it fits. Now, I wouldn't wear this watch on a wrist smaller than 15 centimeters, but you can see my wrist is actually attached to a very large arm, and while things can look huge at this distance, moving away and showing the arm in proportion reveals that the watch actually wears fairly well. It's not for small wrists, but again, down to 15 centimeters circumference, you owe it to yourself to at least try. We have a 7-day no questions asked return policy. Now, part of the reason this works is because the case itself has these angled lugs that help to wrap around the edge of your wrist. You have a strap that, rather than fusing two different materials, as Hublot often does, fuses two different colors of vulcanized rubber. Now, it is a very thick strap and has every indication of being able to last a decade. You can see it as a brand new Hublot factory strap. There are some molded in striations and a little bit of a riser at the end, so it doesn't look like one big expanse of undifferentiated rubber. Now, we also have a quick release system, just like a car seatbelt buckle. You can easily remove the strap. If you want to dress the watch down with black, maybe black leather and rubber, or just black rubber by itself, you can easily do that. Hublot has many replacement strap options for you to dress up or dress down with your watch. We get a deployant clasp. It actually has a combination of metal construction, and you can see internally it is blackened titanium. And then externally, it has an insert in black ceramic. We have a twin trigger release system, so it's not going to pop open. It is a sports watch clasp. You can see internally it's satinated. It has the Hublot H logo inside the chassis. And then you tuck the strap underneath, you buckle it in place, and then there's no need for minder loops outside to handle the excess length. These are minder loops. They get ugly fast. This watch doesn't need them. Taking a quick look at the case, you can see it's very similar to other Big Bang Unicos, albeit a little bit brighter and more vibrant. We have the composite or resin, truth be told, plastic inserts in the flank, as well as a plastic gasket that separates the hoods of the case from the bezel proper. Now, we have a lot of those H-pattern bolts in the bezel and on the flanks, as well as at the ends of the lugs. Everything is of high polish, so it gleams, but it also contrasts nicely with the color and matte finish of the black plastic and rubber parts. We have chronograph pushers that are designed to look like automotive pistons because Hublot loves cars, second only to its ardor for football. We have a screw-down crown and 100-meter water resistance. Now, on the dial side, we have a sapphire under which you can see the name is silkscreen printed, and then we have a base, a sort of skeletonized frame that sits on top of the movement. So you can see there's a little frame for the hours and the indices, and then we have outboard a little track against which to read the seconds and the minutes. Now, we'll do a quick loom shot just to remove all doubt. The watch does have black luminova, but it is very faint. Now, the dial includes a couple of standout features, the first of which is a 60-minute chronograph register, something you don't commonly see on chronographs. I find it to be practical and welcome. There's also a skeletonized date disc that moves all the way around the dial. It sits inside the aperture. The date is inside the aperture with the 60-minute register, and you can see that the watch includes two subsidiary setting modes. One is stop seconds, and then the other, we'll just make sure we roll through the date change danger zone here. Nope, we weren't in it. Okay. Then the other setting mode, of course, is the quick set for the date. And you can rapidly cycle the date just like that. Screw down the crown one more time. Taking a quick look at the dial, there are other standout features, and I'm going to back that minute hand away so you can see two of them towards the base of the dial. This chronograph is built inverted. This is caliber HUB 1242. It's the Unico. We have the column wheel on the dial side, and then we also have the lateral clutch that drives the chronograph center wheel on the dial side. Normally these things are on the back of chronograph movements, but the Unico was built inverse to put the most engaging features on the dial side. There's also a constant second sub-register over at 9 o'clock. And you can see this little Hublot polished H pattern bolt, just like we have on the dial, sitting atop the column wheel. The movement can be seen from the reverse side too. Automatic winding. It uses ceramic bearings for efficiency and lower maintenance requirements. It has a 70 to 72 hour power reserve, so for all practical intents and purposes, 3 days. It is a full balance bridge for shock tolerance. This movement, which is a 38 joule movement, beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. The chronograph has the lateral clutch and the column wheel, and the watch has a silicone escapement. You can't quite see it, but both the escape wheel and the lever are made of silicone, so they don't need to be lubricated, which, like the ceramic bearings, increases the intervals between adjustments, cleaning, oiling, and adjustment style services. Now, everything here has been either grayed or silvered, so it has a nice industrial sheen to it. Taking a quick look at the regulator, you can see it's a combination of an eccentric screw micro adjuster with Edicron, so it can be adjusted quite precisely. There is a lot to love about the Unico. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this Hublot Big Bang Unico Blue Magic.